Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am more Toddy One Skip than you are. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. Thank you again for always allowing me to be part of your day. I so appreciate it. Guys, this is, I think, the third video we're putting out in the expose of Fancy Macelli. Who does she think she is? Who do you think you are? Well, we're going to show you who you've shown us who you are. Once again, I'd like to thank Resident Midnight for trusting me and Miss Fancy Pants for trusting me and the platform of this channel for allowing me to tell their story and this channel to be a safe place to tell their story. Guys, it's because of you that it's a safe place, so please always give yourself credit. I appreciate you. I always give you credit. Guys, without any further ado, let's find out what's been going on in the dirty, evil minds of the players and the main character, Fancy Macelli. Guys, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only, except when we're showing you the proof, and then you know what we're talking about. But guys, just so you know, okay? Thanks.
But Bobby said in there that you're going to be shocked. And that got me thinking tonight, and that's why we're here talking. So yeah, we're going to be shocked. There's some shit coming. I hope he gets his uphill. Let me help you, Nick. Oh, who's that?
That's Fancy.
That's Fancy with
Okay,
her growl.
I just
yell.
found a never before seen recording
she's
from
really
the drunken car
serious?
rant.
When she's really serious, she sounds a little possessed.
Let me get you. That hurts my throat. I gotta be honest with you, that really hurts my
Do
throat.
your homework.
That almost
This
sounds,
is Fancy real raw and uncut.
and that was a year ago. Almost
Yep.
a
Yeah.
year. That was
Over
just
a
over
year
a
ago.
year ago. Yeah, just
Yes.
over.
This is
Yeah.
from the drunken car rant. And what happened is I was recording somebody else's live, and I didn't know I had this. And then all of a sudden it switched over, and I was like, this is Fancy. And it's from, and I was like, so I had never, no one has ever seen these clips before because I literally just found them yesterday.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try. Let me go forward.
Like, she growled.
Oh, I will help.
Yes, she does.
Because there are federal charges we could get her on, baby. Let's talk. I got some.
Who can we get on federal charges?
She's talking about Gypsy.
Oh.
people. Bob, you don't need no money. I got it. Let's go.
I think this case is bringing to light just how bad our justice system is. I mean, even though we've had cases before where it has showed it, but this really shows it.
Yup. And I may be a good Christian woman, but I'm the one that needs Jesus, and I'm a sinner. I know it. Okay?
Wait a minute. Was that the same possessive person?
Yeah, she's possessed.
Okay,
But
I
she's a
used
good
to get this
Christian
person
woman.
mixed up with Dreamercraft Corner.
I thought that was, but the one that was telling that she's a good Christian woman was just Fancy coming out of her
Yes.
possession. Okay.
Yeah, and I
her
included
exorcism.
that because she, like, right
From
after
one
this, she
extreme
says,
to the next. From one extreme to the next.
yes.
But why'd you include it? I'm sorry.
Oh, because right after this, she says, but so keep in mind, she's talking about Nick, right? And then
Right.
she goes, but I'm a sinner, I've sinned, or something like that. And so I'm like, there's so many times when she talks about Nick, back when she was in her Justice for Nick phase, that she always has a caveat, like, you know, but I'm not perfect, or but I'm a sinner. And I feel like it's her almost like subconsciously, like, confessing her guilt for what she did to Nick.
You did share that before in the other video when she was crying, and you were like, you know, I think she's feeling a little guilty. I think that you had given her credit for feeling for having a conscience. God bless you. Let's continue onward.
And I cuss a damn lot, but I tell truth, damn it. Come on. You are right.
And I am not going to talk about Gypsy Rose anymore because what I'm going, well, I'm not going to say that because there's always going to be a time where I talk about her. But what I'm going to talk about is the boy right there, that boy with the beard and that funny little face. I'm going to talk about him.
Is she making fun of Nick?
Okay, she's in her way, she's actually, this is when she's complimenting
I know
him.
that she's not making fun of Nick. But she's referring
She
to Nick.
thinks she's complimenting him in her own weird way, but because like you know in the other video I believe I said something about, oh, it's funny because last year he was just a guy with a funny little cute face or something like that, and now he's a sociopathic killer again. Like she keeps switching back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. When I heard this video again, when I was in the shower, yeah, and I felt like yeah, like my head was getting jerked around because the changing of the minds is like, you know, how many heads do you got, mate?
Oh, I just
I'm
realized
here.
I forgot to put the clip in where she's saying that she's going to be on the Supreme Court steps with a weapon for justice for Nick. But oh well.
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah, I just realized there's a whole folder of, well, it was already 30 minutes long, and so I can put those in another video.
Okay.
Like there's like a bunch more.
Okay. All right, we can do it. Because, you know, to go on the Supreme Court steps with a weapon, please do. Please
Yes,
do.
and she was saying it like in her like possessed
I'll
voice.
pay
like,
for her gas to get
and
there.
I'll be packing.
You know what the thing is? Now, with these videos, these crazy shit, they should go take that gun out of her house. And not because she's fancy, but anybody like that. Anybody like that should be, those guns should be taken, because this is not good mental health. And I'm not saying it to make fun.
No.
And I'm not
Can you
even,
imagine her
Okay, when she was
driving?
quote unquote kidnapped, she bragged about
I know.
Okay, first of all, she's a felon. She is a felon. It's in the court dockets for her false police report case. It says she was convicted. It says she has a felony on her record. And so you cannot have a weapon. And so she bragged about transporting an illegal weapon across state lines to go to the court hearing in Missouri.
Yeah, but you know what? The problem with that is she will go and say that she lied online and didn't have a weapon.
That's true, because no one saw it.
Nobody saw it. Sarah said she never saw it. She probably didn't even bring it.
She was probably packing a burger.
She was pump faking.
You know what I'm saying? She was acting. Yeah, exactly. That's because, listen, that's somebody who, she still needs mental health, whether she has a gun or not. She needs mental health. And that's not coming from an ugly place.
For justice for Nick is go to John. And if you want to get in the way of that in any way, fake and fucking shape or form, then you need to be on a different fucking train, because it is not the right one. It is not the right one.
And then she threw him right the fuck under the bus, and then the justice system just backed up and rolled over him. Don't you think, Ryan?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
So she's talking about, is she talking about what Gypsy did to Nick right here?
Yes. And so she was just, it was, I put this in to illustrate how she was all about justice for Nick last year, but now she's, switched again.
Right, because nobody wanted to work with her.
Yes. Yeah, it was whatever
First
movement
agreement.
got her attention at the time, and this just happened to be the one.
That's exactly what the problem is. There's no consistency. And I saw that a lot in the comments, the flip-flopping, back and forth, and these aren't things. These are things that have to do with morals and conscience. You know what I'm saying? These aren't things like, well, I don't like peanut butter this week. Nothing like that. We're actually talking about the life of somebody and their life. So
Yeah, she's really fickle when talking about someone else's life.
Yeah, it's almost like peanut butter to tahini, baby. Does that make any sense to you guys?
It does.
It does.
Okay.
It's a difference in like serious issues and flippant things,
Exactly. And that is the point that I'm trying to make, is that she acts like people should treat it as if she's just changing her mind about the car color she wants. You know what I mean? And that's not what this is. It's a lot more serious, especially when she starts this narrative that has everybody believing a certain way, and then just changes the narrative. And it's like you are actually influencing a lot of people with your words and you have to have some sort of responsibility in doing that. You can't keep doing that, and that is my problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. She did the same thing with Justice for Dee Dee. She has talked horribly about Dee Dee, and then the next week she will be Dee Dee like posting Mother's Day posts like about what a wonderful mom Dee Dee was.
Yeah, that's disgusting what she has done with the Petrie family, and she's part of that narrative that probably didn't make those sisters feel comfortable enough to say, yo man, that was my baby sister. You know what I mean? Either which way, she has no business talking about people like that. What the fuck? She has no business and no right to talk about people like that.
But Toddy, she's the big kahuna.
The big kahuna, as my friend Becca says, the big kahuna. All right, let's go onward.
Schmurder. Yeah, all right. Schmurder. So they're doing whatever. Kate says Hughes says she does. Go listen to it. Anyway, here. So
what? That made a lot of sense.
He feels like she's getting all this media attention.
Sober, by the way.
She was.
What's that?
She sounds extremely not sober in this clip.
Yeah, bingo.
Just an observation. Must be an auto brewery episode.
Yeah, all right. Schmurder. So they're doing whatever. Kate says Hughes says she does. Go listen to it. Anyway, here. So.
What?
And she had already sold her soul to HBO. And Christy did that for her. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll talk about that bitch later. Yep, cease and desist me. I'll see you in court. What's up?
Fancy, stay on track.
Yep. Okay. Agree. So he decides that she's getting too much media attention, and he says it in the freaking interview. Bella, please, baby, go get the water.
That's Fancy's dog choking.
Yes.
It is. That is not a reverse sneeze. Like,
no, that sounds like congestive heart failure, which causes fluid to spill from the heart into the lungs.
I do want to say that that is not, and I will put up a video of the reverse sneeze, because the reverse
That's a good idea.
Sounds totally different. My dogs do it.
Snort and honk? Don't worry, it's probably a reverse sneeze.
Does your dog do this? That's the reverse sneeze. Does your dog do this? What you do with that is gently close the muzzle, one finger over one nostril, and it will stop. It definitely works too.
Named Winston, and he has a reverse sneeze. So what one follower suggested is to gently close your dog's mouth, cover one nostril for 5 seconds.
My dog was choking like that. I would take him to the vet the same day.
And she refused to take this poor dog to the vet.
You have a dog with a short snout and the
reverse. I do.
And it doesn't sound like that.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't sound like that. I have a boxer, so that's a short snout, and then I have a dog with a longer snout, and neither one of them, you know what it sounds like when a reverse sneeze. It is more like
Snort and honk? Don't worry, it's probably a reverse sneeze. Reverse sneezing, or paroxysmal respiration, is common in dogs. They rapidly inhale air through their nose, causing a snorting sound and extended neck.
It's like a snorting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not what that is. That.
And she just tells him to go get water, like that's going to make any difference. Like, it couldn't even drink water.
First of all, why don't you caress your dog? Give your dog, even the reverse sneeze, that will never hurt a dog. But it definitely, they don't understand what's going on. So you want to at least calm them when you're around, not just go drink water. I mean, go and there's a way to stop the reverse sneeze. You know that, by putting one finger over one of the nostrils. And
I didn't know that.
Yep. And it does stop it. And I usually just gently rub underneath their throat, because that's just the place that I could get to best while I've got my finger over their one nostril. And it doesn't take long for that to stop. Just so you know, try it next time.
Okay, I'll try it.
Does it
Yeah.
not sound like she's more annoyed that her suffering animals interrupting her live stream?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely so. And she doesn't seem to care. You know,
No.
sometimes my
It's like an
dogs
inconvenience to her.
Exactly. But sometimes my dogs annoy me and they're an inconvenience to me. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. I mean, like I'm a person, but you know,
But you don't get
you
mad at
still
them for
gotta give
needing
it to 'em.
water.
No, absolutely, and you still gotta caress them and help them. It
Mm-hmm.
might be an inopportune time, and you might be like, "Damn, do I really have to?" I mean, sometimes when it's icy outside, it's like, "Damn, do I really have to walk them?" But of course, I have to walk them. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it doesn't mean that you're going to enjoy every single moment. There's going to be moments that are going to be, you know, inconvenience. But when you decide to get an animal, that's what your job
It's
is.
part of being a pet parent.
That's a big part of it, to be honest with you, a huge part of it. So, you know, the fact that the dog is sitting there and she's not trying to do anything to help the dog except tell the dog to go get water. The fucking dog knows, I bet you, where the water is. And I bet you if the dog wanted to get water, it would be okay to go get it. So that's probably not what the dog wants.
Oh, Ryan. Anyway, all right. So he goes and does this international. That is very important. International, and it goes fucking viral, Ryan. And all he says is that he walked in, and if I had the visuals, you'd see me doing it. But he at the door after the text messages that we all know is questionable, all that shit. And he told the effing journalist that there was a devil on one. So please, somebody stitch this. There was a devil on one side and an angel on the other. And the angel said to him, "Oh, just take Gypsy and run." And the devil said, "What?" What was
He's
the Facebook
so drunk.
post, Ryan?
The bitch is dead.
And he went with the bitch is dead, and he went on national television after he'd been arrested in international television after he'd said that. And this is what that whole fucking paragraph is about. Let's talk about it.
What are they talking? What? Huh?
The next part is why I put this clip in, because she's talking about how involved she was as like the PR for the Blanchards while Nick was being like smeared back then in 2019.
So Nick did an interview, and he's on this interview from the prison, and he's telling the story about his thought process through it, and that's what Fancy's saying. He had an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. So that's Nick's story that he told to
I heard
someone.
him say that, but
Yeah, while he was in prison.
What was she saying about international?
Oh, she doesn't even know what she's saying. She's drunk off her ass.
Okay, because I'm like, what's international? I thought that it was like a spy movie I walked into that moment.
She thinks it's a spy movie.
Apparently,
she's just drunk.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, international. Well, alleged. We got to say alleged, but it sounds that way. Alleged.
He's allegedly drunk.
And for entertainment purposes only.
Okay, I just wanted to say that does it not seem like Fancy's just straight up making up some warped true crime TV plot that she sees herself as the main character in?
Yes, as she's going along. Like she just went off on this tangent. Absolutely. I absolutely think that this stuff that she's saying is now another acting job, just like when we called it on the last video. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's almost like they're playing like a role, like it's like a detective role-playing game for them.
Yes.
But there's real
it is.
consequences to what they're doing.
I think that that's very strong. I think that that's a very strong and accurate point. I think you're 1000%. And it's all about just getting attention and feeling like you're so important. And in the meantime, this woman claimed to be the expert, the self-proclaimed expert in everything. And she has told this story 7 different times.
She is using all of these people as characters in a story that she made up. Like she's using real people in a TV show plot, basically.
I think she thinks she's playing with people, but wait till we see when the game's over.
Because this is where the media steps in. This literally, here we go. This is where my expertise steps in because I was the media, I was the journalist, I was the person doing this. So this is going on right as I'm up there, all over In Touch, all over everywhere. You've seen me in 2 documentaries. This is going on with this boy is going through all this. And we're talking about right here where the crime journalist sunk him on 1st-degree murder. Here it is.
I don't know if the ACLU is going to step in or not. Until somebody actually tries to pull them in, I'm not really sure how that's going to happen, because if they don't get aware of it, I mean, I'm sure they probably are aware of it, but until people reach out in droves, I don't think they're going to feel compelled to really do anything, because you have to remember, I mean, in all intents and purposes, he did confess, but at the same time, he confessed because he needed the ACLU. So, I mean, I would hope that maybe if a lot of people tried to get a hold of them, that it would do something.
So they had this whole year to do that and did absolutely nothing.
Nope. It's Ryan Lee, the real TikTok lawyer.
Well, you know, they all have motivation to do shit or just run their mouth, apparently.
I mean, he did have his rights not exactly considered. They did not know when they interviewed him that he of lower IQ. They didn't know that, but knowing what they did after the fact, I feel like it should have been thrown out, because he didn't have any type of ad litem or anything there that could have explained, hey, waiving your Miranda is going to get your ass in jail. And that's where it's a slippery slope, because once he confessed, they were just like, yeah, fuck it. He confessed. We're good. And I don't think he fully understood that what he said could and would be used against him in a court of law. I mean, you hear about it all the time. They read about it on police stories all the time, but I don't think he actually understood that once he opened his mouth, he was going to end up having a lot of consequences. And only after he talked, while he's talking to himself in the interrogation room, when he's like, I'm screwed. I'm so screwed. Like, he started realizing that I should have kept my mouth shut, because he did not realize in the beginning, only through act and practice did he realize.
Oh, you know what he realized? He realized that the cop lied to him. And that's when he said, I'm screwed. And when she lied to him because he wasn't going to see Gypsy or come back into the room, remember that?
Yep, I remember that.
And at the end, he said that she lied to him. Do you remember that? That was very heartbreaking.
Because he didn't realize that police could lie to him.
Exactly. He did not know that they were allowed to do that. And that was heartbreaking for me to watch that, to be honest with you, because I mean, like, he really wanted to see Gypsy, and I don't think he should have seen her either. But I mean, that guy was fucking lied to just time after time after time after time after time. And you know what? Maybe he finally has some sort of life in prison. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he has truth there. He's been there for a while. I'm not saying that that's the place he should be, but I want him to have some sort of life, some sort of truth in his life. You know what I'm saying? Not feel manipulated all the time and feel like he's always unsafe with who he speaks to and stuff like that.
He never knows who Fancy has sent undercover to get info on him.
Or anybody now, because let me tell you something. As I listened to this, and there's brought up about NPG, and that's an important one for me, because that other woman on NPG and Fancy now are buddies, but she mentions MPG, that's not good for Nick at all. You know what I'm saying? And that comes up in this video too.
Yeah, so, I put that clip in there for you.
I appreciate that.
Disgusting. I find it disgusting that they think it's acceptable to mess with someone in prison. They are already being punished. It is not your job to punish them.
You're 1,000,000% right. That's why I said, and in the last video, he should at least be safe from the outside world. you know, you would think he'd be safe in there from the outside world, and clearly he's not, or he wasn't. I think he will be soon, but if not now. But anyway, let's go on.
This isn't good. What do I do? And by then, it was already over. And we know who she is. We know her whole last name. We know where she's at. We know the whole thing. Not gonna out you. Should. Fucking should. Still might.
Okay, can you pause right after this? Okay, I included this clip because some of the not all of them are about Nick. I included some other clips that are more relevant to other situations happening. I included this because of the Becca Scoops thing going on, because Ryan is on panel while they are doxing Becca Scoops, and she's in the comments defending what they're doing to Becca Scoops with Fancy. And so I thought that this would show that she's like, she has a history of this. She is talking about like, I know this person's identity. I know where they live. And she's like, oh, but we won't out it. I should. Like,
yeah, no, I hear her. I hear her undertone of bullshit.
Yes. That she's like, oh, I should get a see, look at me. I'm such a good person. I'm not going to dox you.
No, that's
like,
not
I can, but I'm not going to.
I don't see it as that. I see it as because a good person doesn't even bring it up. You know, not publicly.
That was kind of what I was getting at.
I did it to Bree on the side before I even knew that Bree came out with the video about me doing it. I just wish she would have left all the information in. You see how she covered her information about her loved ones, but didn't seem to give a shit about Becca's. So, you know, here's the thing. I could have just went ahead and put that shit online, and I could have covered what she covered too. And you know what I mean? But I went to her and said, well, you know, do you want to stop? What's the difference? Like, why do you get to do it and but it's not doxing when it's in retaliation because you started it? You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't want to get down in the dirty playground with them, but I will defend myself, and I am loyal to people. As you should. And I am loyal to people. And just like I took a shower earlier, I could get from that playground and take another shower. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem when people want to say, when they feel like they're intimidating me. You know what I mean? Because that's what she's doing here. She's saying, hey, I got one on you. What do you got on me? What do you got on me? The fact that I actually went and did shit, the fact that these people actually went and did shit, and that you sit and what do you do? What do you do besides change your mind and talk shit about people and and then pretend you don't know what clout is? Like, come on, man. Come on. Like,
yeah. And you guys think, when you guys say, well, you know, we're just neutral. We're just here to be neutral. You are the company you keep. You are the company that you keep.
Say it again,
Say
Ryan.
it again.
Yep. Oh, she does right after this. Yeah. So what's that? Because aren't you now saying this year, you're saying that, why am I being attacked for what Fancy does? Well, here's your answer.
You are and you're proud to be that company when you're there. That's the thing. That's the thing. She uses her big mouth to puff and say, I'm proud to be there. And then they have this falling out, and then she has a falling out with somebody else, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, their bad behavior's always been there. The fact that it didn't bother you before because it had nothing to do with you says something about you. It should have bothered you just because it didn't have anything to do with you. That talks about good character. The fact that it only bothers you when it has something to do with you has nothing to do with good character. It has all to do with your character.
Oh, I have a clip to add in the future then, because I have a clip of Ryan saying that, like, I can't remember who it was about, but there's this person who was doing something like really awful to somebody else. And Ryan was like, well, she didn't do anything to me. And I was like, that tells me all I need to know about you, that's how you view life.
Exactly.
I remember that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
Exactly. So she doesn't think, she thinks she's all that special, that what happens to that person. Listen, I ain't going to give these people life lessons. Let them learn them someplace else. I'm not going to.
Don't waste your breath, Toddy.
I don't think they want to.
No, and I'm not going to give them life lessons. I don't care about them. I'm not going to give them life lessons. I'm not going to give them heads up. Bullshit. I ain't doing that. I tried.
It's frustrating because the company that you keep is very important in my book.
No,
it is?
Right, Alana. They don't realize that the internet
What
is
about the
forever,
company
and
has
that
beliefs?
even when you take something down, it can still go up. In the end, the truth is the truth, the proof is the proof, and it is what it is. What I can't stand is people that can't keep their fucking lies straight. That when I can pull up recordings of you and use your words and show your fucking words and show people what they aren't seeing,
Oh,
can't
kind of
wait.
like what I do to you, Ryan.
it's ridiculous.
Exactly. I can't wait.
I haven't had people use my stuff in a while until Toddy did it the other day with a video that was a year old that somebody very creepily kept in their position from a year ago, which, like I said, exactly tells my exact point of, so you got kicked off the internet because you are a creepy stalker psycho. But thank you for proving it, because that just proved my point. I don't even have my lives from a year ago.
Have all the
Can you
evidence.
pause
It's
right
going to
here?
require.
Okay, so basically Ryan's problem with the previous video was that I had proof that she lied from a year ago, not that she lied. And that makes me a creepy stalker psycho. But there is proof
Yes, those
that
are her
last
words.
year, yeah, exact verbatim, like can't
Right.
make up a video. And so last year she was doing the exact same thing to Gypsy. She was playing recordings of Gypsy contradicting herself. That is exactly what I do.
Right. But of course it does. See, it doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
Don't you understand that they're special?
This is just an example of how Fancy does not do any of her own work, that she just manipulates free labor from everyone.
Okay.
People to actually go do homework.
Well, we can talk about that.
Okay. I mean, I can be smart about it, but they're going to have to help. They want to help. They got to learn the story.
No, these are from before. These you guys can find this shit out on the internet. Like, they're floating around.
Right.
They're floating around. Like, these are.
So she's making sure that she's getting her work done for free, and then if they give her a ride anywhere, it's a kidnapping charge, right?
Yeah, and she's
that right. That you
she's
can't
gonna get
make
gas money from the person she kidnapped or was kidnapped.
Yeah,
by.
there you go.
I always send my kidnapper $200 in gas money. I don't know about you.
Absolutely.
Oh, always.
These are
kidnapper.
What's that? I'm sorry.
It's the
Don't forget
$200 is to
kidnapper.
ensure that the kidnapping was fun. I mean, they had a great time.
I
They got
watched,
gummies. They got drinks.
I watched them.
pizza.
Listen, I really don't think Sarah had a good time, and
No,
because
she didn't.
she didn't. But she was the kidnapper.
The kidnapper's supposed to have the best time.
I know. It's so, she was a kidnapper under duress.
She was.
By the kidnapping who supposedly was packed.
Poor Sarah didn't even want to kidnap her. She made her kidnap her.
At all. I believe that story so much from Sarah. I really do. I don't care.
Same.
Yeah.
I will go down with that. I believe.
Oh yeah,
Sarah,
I'll stand 10 toes down on that.
Same.
Listen,
I'll stand with her. She did not kidnap anyone.
Most people
Sarah is not the fancy napper.
Right? But most people, I think it's fair to say that 90% of the people don't believe Fancy in that.
Oh, I
what I'm
hope
saying?
so. Oh, I
the
hope so.
credibility. Well, guys, we watched it live. So, I mean, come on. We watched it while it was happening. We saw, you know what I mean? Like, not at one time did Fancy say, "I'm winking, come and send a car for me."
Right?
I mean, come on.
Do you
I
know
just
what's
remember
sorry.
her video to rabbit down the rabbit hole at
That's what I was
bedtime.
gonna bring up.
Fuck you, rabbit.
I have that. Speaking of rabbit, so do you remember the day of the kidnap? We're just gonna call it the kidnapping instead of the trip. The day of the kidnapping. It was like, I think it was like the 4th or the 5th day, and Fancy was on camera and she was just like, "Please, I'm so tired. I just need a place to rest my head.
Yes.
Like, we cannot make the rest of this trip."
Yes.
And then she finessed an extra free night in a motel to sleep. And then she stayed up arguing with me and Rabbit's comments on YouTube all night.
I'm telling you, when I say, because I used to follow her at that point. I mean, when I say I followed her, I didn't watch everything because I was already starting to be like, there's something that's not 1,000,000% on with this person, and that's why I never did anything with her.
I
That's
bet
why.
you think you're lucky stars now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I watched enough of the kidnapping, and I again remember coming back and them coming back and her saying that Sarah was in the hospital because Sarah was really, really sick. Because people asked, "Where's Sarah? Where's Sarah?" And even Amber and Alora, said that Sarah was sick. Sarah was very, 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 very sick. And even Fancy herself said Sarah was sick.
I heard
So
that Sarah stayed in the hotel room in bed because she was so sick, while
that's it.
Fancy went with Amber and Alora. So she actually left her kidnapper and could have been saved like
Exactly. And didn't
5
even
days
and they
earlier.
said that too. I think Amber and
Mhm.
Alora actually said that too. Like she didn't say anything when we were in Walmart.
Not to mention, she went to
Right?
the police station with her kidnapper to file a police report.
Yeah, well, I mean, but people with critical thinking again figure this out. 90% of the people, I'm telling you, 90% of the people are watching this shit as entertainment. Or they're either
They're hate
so
watching.
or
I
or
mean,
they're
I,
either
I
so upset with the way Fancy has treated people that they just want to see the end of the game here.
That's
You know what
me.
I
That's
mean?
my reasoning for watching.
Well, at this point, that's mine too.
I even said my goal, like people kept asking, what's your goal with Fancy? Why are you doing this? And I said, just stop lying. They said, like, do you want her to get off the internet? And I was like, she doesn't even have to get off the internet. Like, just stop making inflammatory, false content and hurting people. Like, you do
Stop being a
mukbangs or
grifter.
go do Wendy's mukbangs. Something. She'd find a way to hurt people with that, though. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. See, she can't help herself. She needs therapy because I think that, listen, I don't like this woman, but I think that she struggles. I think that she has inner struggles where I don't think she likes the life that she's living. I don't think she likes the fact that she can't trust anybody around her because of the way she treats them.
She is
and that
deeply unhappy.
and that people leave. Listen, nobody stays there long enough. There's a reason for that. And
Because she
you tend to
screams
hang
at them with the
around.
personal attacks.
Not only that, but you tend to hang around happy people. People want to be around happy people, not miserable people, not
True.
people that are looking for your weakness to find a way to manipulate you. And that's what she does. That's what she does. And, I almost want to say that's what this one does with the beautiful agony. Like she's in agony with this face here. Like seriously, it's like I'm not trying to make fun. It's almost like
Oh,
she's
she
had enough.
definitely is in some agony.
You know what I'm saying? It looks like she's miserable too. And these
She has
people.
some bitterness in her soul.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
And then
I
that's why Fancy and her met each other and hate bonded right off the bat. Like, I think.
I used to think that Ryan and Fancy were a good match. When I first started following Fancy, I think that her and Ryan were talking and they do this thing together. And I thought Ryan kept her in line. You know what I mean?
I think
And
initially she did.
Yes,
I used to
that
give
is the
Ryan a
facade that
lot of
Ryan
credit.
puts up.
I used to give Ryan a lot of credit, but now that I've seen, when you disagree with Ryan, you get the same basic thing that you get from Fancy. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you too, man. If you are so weak that people can't disagree when you clearly change your mind a million times and people call you on it, instead of just saying, well, man, I just changed my mind, but they get hateful, they get defensive, they don't know how to take any kind of constructive criticism. And I guarantee
and then they deflect, use ad hominem.
I guarantee you that they have heard a million times that they don't know how to take any kind of constructive criticism, and yet they've never heard it before. You know what I mean? Like people have said it to them. I guarantee you a lot of people have said, man, I'm just giving you constructive criticism. I'm just giving you, and they never fucking heard it. But people have said it and they need to hear it because they're not doing anything. This is a vicious cycle of stupidness, in my opinion. Like you're not getting anything right because you're not stopping to say, wait a minute, why is this cycle repeat? You know, it repeats because you're not doing anything different. It's called insanity.
I was about to say, what is the definition of insanity?
Exactly.
Repeating
Doing
the same thing over and expecting different results.
Again, getting this and expecting a different result. Exactly.
I think they see the constructive criticism as personal attacks.
Exactly. That's exactly. So therefore, they don't take it on board as constructive criticism. It doesn't work for them, you know, but that's them. It's their problem.
There are emails that went out years ago. Somebody had posted them and I got sent one of them.
And I will make my statement right now. At no time ever in the history of the entire time that I have worked with the Blanchard, not with the Blanchard, have I ever used a forged document to garner any information, records, documents, or anything else in this case. And I will see you in court if you want to have any more fucking conversations about that. Now,
does that include
going back to
staging
this,
emails?
Megan,
never doing anything, never using anything false, or collecting info under false pretenses. Does that include the Nick infiltration?
Well,
I would think so.
But she's never done that. Guys, she didn't have a Nick infiltration group.
She had a Nick investigation group, guys.
She only accidentally called it.
Natasha Cooper thing, wasn't the I thought it was didn't she say it was a Natasha?
It was a Natasha infiltration. Bwahaha.
Whatever. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever she did with herself there. But exactly. Yeah, of course. Once again, Fancy showing herself. Unbelievable.
If you can't handle a real boss alpha female relationship, we are both alpha females.
We are not for you.
This is how we are. Think of us as Howard Stern with tits, okay?
Okay. Pause it on the next screenshot, real quick. Play it for like one more second.
Okay.
Howard Stern with tits.
All right, yeah. I'll tell you when to pause. Sorry.
I don't know.
Wait a minute, Ryan. Do I get to be Howard Stern and you're Robin, or are you Howard Stern and I'm Robin? Which one? Come on, Court. You get to make a poll.
Okay, right here. Okay. Isn't it very interesting that last year, Fancy and Ryan thought it was hilarious to say that they were Howard Stern with tits, but this year they are making fun of Morbid now that he's exposing her and calling him a Howard Stern reject or wannabe.
Yep. I heard that.
Interesting how that works.
Why am I fighting with so many people? Because I'm lovely and pleasant. Can't you tell? You guys want to say that Fancy's unhinged? Hi, my name's Ryan, and Fancy's got nothing on me.
Oh, okay. So
she's proud of that.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, was
she not voting about that?
I'm shocked. I mean, like that. Why would you? Anyway, go ahead. I
would never be proud of that.
I don't
have.
You
could see it in her eyes that she was like, I'm so unhinged. Like, and Fancy brags about being unhinged too.
Who's the most unhinged?
Ooh, I think that. Okay, but see, they're different. One's overt and one's covert. So it's like, I think they're the same level. They just manifest in different ways.
Yeah.
But so this was the first live that I ever commented. This is actually the only time I have ever commented, because there's me exposing the Good Wives Network. Okay. And so this shows that I have been calling Fancy out about these emails. Like, it was all the way back last year, but this is August. So I commented and I said, Fancy, want to talk about you staging emails with Nick yet? And she said that, there's like 4 screenshots for this, but she like, see how she immediately, instead of answering the questions, she deflects and tries to personally attack me and insult my intelligence to make everyone think that I'm too stupid to understand what I'm talking about.
Well, I've seen them do that so many times. I've always loved exposing the Good Wives Network before I even knew who you were. I was on that channel. I subscribed to that channel. I think that I even talked about that channel on my channel when I watched your video. I loved those videos. And I was
really?
so like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I had to take them all down
I know.
because of a copyright. That's where all my content went.
Glad you're back. Hey guys, I really appreciate you and the time that you've given to listening to this video. There's a lot to unpack here, but it always seems to be the same exact pattern. Fancy. And the fact that she just doesn't care about much and seems to forget what she did care about last week. Guys, again, I want to thank Resident Midnight and Miss Fancy Pants for coming on to the channel and talking about things to help get the record straight, guys. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always be kind, and thanks again, guys. And we got more videos coming out. Thank you.